Good evening, it's Monday, December 8th, and today I want to talk about difficult questions in life. Now, Nick, normally when I say that, I mean I actually have a question in mind that I would like answered, and that I know that we probably won't be able to answer, but we're going to try anyways. But today, that is not the case. I don't want to ask a specific question. Okay, maybe I kind of do. I want to ask why we ask questions. And this might seem a little off topic from the literature that we've been talking about a lot lately, but we keep asking ourselves, why did we used to do what we do? Why do we do what we do now? And books are always a great way of answering kinds of questions, making you think deeply. They ask big questions in life that can't always just be directly asked. I mean, there are other mediums by which to do this, such as photographs, paintings, music, poetry, and many different kinds of arts. They're able to address the taboos and the weird things and the really difficult questions that if you went out and asked, someone on the street, they'd give you a funny look and just walk away because it makes them really uncomfortable. Nick, I like to make people feel really uncomfortable. It's a lot of fun. It's not always great, but I do. It really is a lot of fun. I mean, I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable just for the sake of making them feel uncomfortable. I want to make them feel uncomfortable in the sense that there's this big, beautiful world out there with a lot of interesting things and a lot of things that we just take for granted. And why do we do that? Why are we just okay with just doing things because somebody told us that it was okay to do them? Or just because somebody told us that we had to do them? I don't understand why those are. And I don't like the world just being that way, so I like to ask a lot of questions. It's a lot of fun. And Nick, from the conversations that I've been having with you for about 5 years now, I know that you also like to ask a lot of questions. You like to rock the boat and figure out a lot of interesting things. But Nick, there's a lot of people who don't like to do that. People who just like the status quo, who want to keep things basic and simple, and are afraid to ask the big questions. And I want to know what happened in my life and in your life and in the lives of a lot of people that makes them want to ask those questions, and what happened in the lives of the other people that they refuse to ask those questions, they refuse to answer those questions, and they just kind of all around feel uncomfortable. Now, I know whatever kind of analysis we're going to end up with is going to be some kind of post hoc, ergo propter hoc, and that we're not ever going to be able to find a root source. It's probably complicated and it's a mixture of many things, but I just find it interesting that I can ask questions. I've had several friends that I would just sit there and grill them on big meaningful questions in life, and I just ask question after question. Well, why do you think that? Explain this. Why does that make sense to you? And it would drive them nuts. And then there are other people that we just ask questions back and forth for hours, and by the end of the night we're like, cool. I think it takes all kinds in this world, but I'd like more kinds of people who ask questions, even if it's just they ask different questions. I like those kinds of people. People who don't ask questions just kind of bother me. People who are afraid to ask questions bother me. I want questions asked. I want to be wrong. I want to learn why I'm wrong, and I want to understand why I'm wrong so that I can be right later. And I can't do that without asking questions. Which ultimately brings us full circle to literature. They show me where to ask questions, what questions need to ask, and what questions I haven't thought of yet inspire me to ask new ones. That's one of the reasons I love books and the video games that I play, because they inspire me to ask questions that need to be asked. And I don't know, sometimes they're just fun too, and that's okay. Nick, I'll see you on Wednesday.